Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I won't take up too much of your time, but before we get the program started, I wanted to do something that's a little bittersweet. About 2 years ago, when we started this program, it was an opportunity for us to bring alums, graduate students, and current students together to just reminisce and talk about their Albany State experience, and to share with the students who are in the audience the things that made them or helped them get through and have a positive experience here at Albany State University. We are so pleased with how the program has turned out, and we have seen steady and constant growth over the years, and it's due to a person that is going to be leaving us. And so I wanted to publicly say thank you to her. When I first approached her and asked her if she would take the realm and kind of make this happen, I didn't know her very well because I was new to the university, but I knew I saw something that just waiting to shine, and that she has done. And so, Ms. McMillan, we are so grateful to you for all that you have done. You took the leadership of this program and you've grown it every year. And she's leaving us to go on to other opportunities, but we're grateful for all that you've done for us in student affairs, particularly with this program. And as a small token of our appreciation, some flowers to say thank you.
I am Aisha Leonard on behalf of the ASU campus community and the Division of Student Affairs. We would like to welcome you to our Spring 2022 Student Leadership Luncheon from College to Careers, ASU Alumni in Social Science. It is our pleasure that all of you have chosen to be a part of this event in your respective roles. Our gratitude and appreciation are extended to each of the many entities who have organized this event. We are excited panelists to have you present your knowledge to our faculty, staff, and students. It is our hope that your leadership knowledge will impact the students today, and they too can return to the campus to provide and guide upcoming students. We are eager to listen and absorb all of the great information that is to come shortly. Again, thank you very much for attending and being a part of this event. Next, I introduce to you Ashanti Penn, who will present the occasion.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ashanti Penn, and again, welcome to today's Student Leadership Luncheon. The Division of Student Affairs organized this event beginning of spring 2020. If you're unfamiliar, here at the unsinkable Albany State University, excellence is the standard. Ensuring that our students matriculate through their college careers and moving on to obtain gainful employment opportunities is a part of the excellent standard. What better way to do that than to provide our students with first-hand accounts of that knowledge and insight from past and present students of their respective worlds. This, the birth of the Student Leadership Luncheon Series. Each semester, Student Affairs is tasked with reaching students in different areas of discipline. This year's theme, From College to Careers, Alumni in Social Science, happens to explore the world of social science field. Both past and present students will share their unique perspective concerning their career pursuits within the many career paths and social sciences to hopefully assist each of you with questions or ideas that you may have. We would like to take the time to acknowledge our president, Dr. Marian Frederick, Vice President of Student Affairs, and all of the cabinet. As we prepare to immerse ourselves in all social science, please feel free to take notes and have your questions ready. Let us welcome back Aisha as we are one step closer as to hearing our amazing panelists.
Kimberly Lawson is a TEDx speaker, international best-selling author, and fractional COO through her company Lawson Learning Academy, LLC. Kimberly provides support through training, business consultations, and evaluations for small businesses, school systems, corporations, and nonprofits. Additionally, she is a board member for Knicks Kicks, which provides sneakers and life skills to underprivileged youth. Alexis Jones, a native of Columbus, Georgia, is a double alumna of the unsinkable Albany State University, where she served in numerous student leadership roles. In the fall of 2015, Ms. Jones obtained a Bachelor of Art degree in psychology. In the spring of 2021, a master's in education and school counseling. Currently, Ms. Jones serves as a special education teacher and head cheerleading coach at Kendrick High School. Taron Henton is a 21-year-old political science scholar from Cordell, Georgia. He has served in many entities on campus, such as Student Government Association, Holly Ambassadors, Housing and Residence Life, etc. After graduation, he plans to intern with the Congressional Black Caucus in Washington, D.C. Now you're going to start hearing from our panelists.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, great. All right, so good afternoon, y'all. I am Taron Henton, as she said, a 21-year-old political science scholar from Cordell, Georgia. And my journey as a social science major was like a slow but rewarding process. I often like to compare my journey as like the tortoise versus the hare. So the tortoise was in last place, but he came in first. Because life isn't a competition, because I plan to complete, never compete. And I always felt like the underdog throughout my college experiences. I always happened to be the best at everything and never taking time to really be in the moment and live in it and step into my purpose. So instead of adapting to the energy of self-destruction, I decided to get involved, to get my name out there by joining several organizations, Holly Ambassadors, Student Government Association, P3, the list goes on. It's not a resume check, but that's just some things that I do. And I also told myself, like, when I got to college, I didn't just want to go, I wanted to experience it. Because I'm not a first generation student, but I'm the first one in my family to actively get involved in college. No one has done college the way that I have done it. So I got involved, I got to know my professors a little bit more, because you have to build those connections with your professors, or you need somebody to fall back on. So if you find yourself falling short, you have a village behind you to cheer you on. So I took a lot of classes that I felt like were beneficial to my growth, like constitutional law, political parties and pressure groups, public administration. And it really all helped me get my start, as well as getting involved on campus to really find out what it is that I'm passionate about. But it's always this question, okay, so I'm a political science major. People always ask, what are you gonna do with that? Do you wanna be law? What is political science? So, do I wanna be a lawyer? Maybe. But I also, on the other hand, wanna help out a country that was built on the backs of our ancestors that's supposed to have liberty and justice for all. That's what I really want to do. So it's really like such a broad field being a political science major. You can do pretty much anything. You could be a nonprofit manager one day. You could be a lawyer the next day. You could run a business, be a political commentator. It's so many things that you could do. So it's really boundless. Like, the sky is never gonna be the limit for me, because I know what I can do. I know what I could bring to the table. I also know that I could build the table, set the table, and serve the table. I know what I can do. So you really just never know. And I also told myself that coming to college and majoring in political sciences, it is such a broad degree. I don't want to just be one thing. I want to be a multitude of things. Like, I often, when people ask me who my inspiration is, I don't know if y'all know Issa Rae. Anybody who knows me knows I love Issa Rae. She does everything. She's like, she has a media publishing company. She's a record label owner. She has a bunch of TV shows. It's just like, that's not what I want to do, but that's something that inspires me, it drives me, because she started off with such a small platform on YouTube, and now she's just like this big, broad star. So, and that's why when I applied for the Congressional Black Caucus, I was really thinking about like what is it that I really wanted to do, and it's just like I would love to advocate for people who are voiceless, and just be there for the ones who want the help but don't know where to get it. So it's also like the Congressional Black Caucus has sat in the most powerful seats in the nation in front of the most powerful people, and they have cultivated so much change for us, Black people. And that's something that I want to be a part of, and it's just advocating for those who are voiceless and just making sure that I'm being the change I want to see. So, yeah.
Our next speaker will be Alexis Jones.
Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay, very good. I have a few questions that Ms. McMillan submitted to me, and as a teacher, I like to follow rules and order, so I'm going to go in order of what was submitted to make sure I cover everything for the students. What is your why for choosing this field? The field of social sciences to me is what I consider the helping profession. And all of my life, I've always known I like to help people and give back. So working as a teacher and next year as a school counselor, I've been able to do that in more ways than one. Education is a field of unlimited possibility. And as a teacher of seniors, each and every day I instill in them the dream and hope that you can become whatever you set your mind to. Is unlimited potential. Here at Albany State University, I was involved in several organizations that allowed me to find my voice. Student Government Association, P3, being on Royal Court as mid-sophomore, all of those organizations and advisors helped me find my voice, and I've transformed that into different areas in my personal career. So being a part and involved on the campus at Albany State University, it helped me find lifelong friends, and it also helped transform me into that individual that can say that my potential has been realized in more ways than one. What do I like best about my job? I am a cheerleading coach, and I plan a lot of activities for my students. The most rewarding part of being an educator is giving back to my students and seeing them reach their potential. Today in the audience, I have a student. Her name is Kendasha McKenzie. She's a former cheerleader of mine, as well as one of my students. And to see her at Albany State University reaching her potential as the president of our sorority, as well as a P3, that lets me know that she's following along the same guidelines and she's getting that experience as well. So it goes beyond just being about me. It's about those students that are to come after me. So that is the most satisfying part of my job, giving back to the kids and seeing them be the best version of themselves. Which courses do you think most prepared me for my career in social sciences? I'll honestly say all the courses in the psychology department at Albany State University, there are great professors, Dr. Mason, Dr. Thomas, Dr. Reed, because it was more than just attending class to learn about child and adolescent psychology. You were learning skills that would transform you into a professional in the mental health profession. And they always held us accountable. So for me, that is something that I use daily, being on time, being prepared, and not settling for less. What advice would I give to new professionals in the field? For students that are getting ready to exit their undergraduate degree, I would say if you're interested in pursuing your graduate degree, there's no time like the present. I would go ahead and start that process sooner rather than later. Also, going into a new profession, you set the tone for what the expectation is. So there's a standard if you decide to go into education and counseling, but when you get into it, you build those relationships with the students that you encounter every day, and you help them be the best version of themselves. And how would you advise me to plan for life after graduation? There is no fairy tale book for life after graduation. It is what you make it. You're going to go through trials and tribulations because you're an adult, and you're also learning how to become a new working professional in your individual career and field. So I would say going into life post-graduation, give yourself some grace. Extend yourself a lot of grace. You might not get the first job that you apply for. It might not be particularly in the career field that you obtain your degree, but give yourself some grace and know that all things work in God's timing.
You are now hearing from Kimberly Lawson.
Okay, so I have to stand up and speak. I apologize for not following the order of things, but I am a speaker and I cannot sit and speak to you. I have to stand up so that you can see me well, I can see you, and we can connect and we can talk and get this thing done so that when you leave here, I have given you what I was brought to give you. Is that okay with you? That's okay with you? All right, so good afternoon. Again, I am Kimberly Lawson. I am class of 2003. I graduated under the direction of Madam President. And when I tell you that I have a love for this blue and gold, I have a love for this blue and gold. I tell people I bleed blue and gold because Albany State gave me something I didn't know I needed and I didn't know existed. So I grew up right down the road in Sylvester, Georgia, and it is a predominantly white farming community. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I was never told that it was okay to be Black and to be who you are 100% authentically and unapologetically. So Albany State told me that my Black was beautiful and that there was nothing wrong with me being who I was. And that was life-changing. That was life-changing. So in case no one at Albany State University, because it has changed a lot since I was here, but in case no one told you, everyone in this room, your Black is beautiful and you do not have to apologize for being who you are. That's first and foremost. So one of the questions that I get asked all the time is, why Albany State? What did you major in? And connect the dots for me. So I was a psychology major. I chose Albany State because it was close to home. Out-of-state fees weren't really a thing. And I have family roots at Albany State. My stepfather, Reginald Hunter, was the alumni president for many years here at Albany State University. I have my great-grandmother, who I never got to meet, was a graduate of Albany State University. I have brothers, cousins, and just a long lineage of history at Albany State University. And so it made sense to me to come here. Psychology, I chose psychology for me because it wasn't a safe choice. I chose psychology not knowing 100% what I was going to do with it, but I knew I was going to change my life and I was going to change someone else's life. So, careers in social science are about helping people and about changing lives. Not just about changing other people's lives, they're about also changing your life. So you need to be thinking about that. I want you thinking about that when you are choosing your elective classes, because I was thinking about that. A lot of my electives were social work classes. And I chose social work classes because the only thing I knew about social workers at the time is that they were part of DFACS, and you got food stamps from DFACS, and they took people's children away. And that was my knowledge. And I chose the 400 level courses, which at 400 level, these are a lot of juniors and seniors. And I jumped into those courses because I didn't want that basic knowledge. I wanted to get really in and see what was going on. And I took those classes under Dr. Maxine Agazi. And oh my God, life changing. She loved that I was a psych major. She loved that I didn't know anything about it. And she looked at all her juniors and seniors and she said, okay, it's your job now to teach Kim. She doesn't know what social workers do. It's your job to teach her. What do we do? What can you do in this career path? Show her, teach her, tell her. Let's go, let's do it. And it was life-changing because psychology is all about the mind. Psychology is all about understanding how people think and why they make the decisions they make. But social work comes in at a holistic perspective, dealing with the whole person. And taking those courses made a huge difference for me. I use that knowledge on a daily basis helping people. Because when you are talking about people, you got to deal with the whole person. Raise your hand if you've ever been late for class. Raise your hand if your teacher ever really cared why you were late for class. Raise your hand if you wanted to tell them why you were late for class and you had a really good reason. That's that holistic perspective. You had a really good reason. You wanted your professor to really care about why you were late because of all of the things that happened. That was that holistic perspective. But that's not what the professor in most cases wanted to hear. And so having that knowledge and understanding that helps in certain career paths. Like if you want to teach with students, you have to be able to deal with the whole person. You can't just teach them the content. You got to care that the child hasn't eaten. You have to care that their shoes don't fit. You have to care that they may be in an abusive situation at home. If you're dealing with adults, you have to care about the whole person because everything about them matters. When you're talking about psychology and why the mind works, let's talk about my business. I help small business owners. I'm a fractional COO. I have to understand how people think and why they make the decisions that they make. That helps from a marketing perspective. So if I know why you chose the jacket and the shoes you chose today, then I can go to this boutique owner and I can say, okay, so your ideal client is this person in this age range, and this is typically what they like to buy. So if you stock your store with these items here, and we know that they also shop at this other store, then we're going to be able to put your ads in this location and funnel them in. Because now I understand how they think and why they make the decisions that they make. What I am telling you is that you just need to decide what it is that you want to do. Because there are careers out there. You have to first gain all the knowledge while you are here and take it seriously. And when I say take it seriously, you have to take it very seriously. Because I promised to tell this story, and I'm going to be very quick. I wish Dr. Reed was here. Dr. Reed taught me, and he is quick to say that his initials are WAR for a reason. Dr. William A. Reed, WAR for a reason. Dr. Reed changed my life. I will forever love that man because had he not done what he did, most likely, probably, but maybe not, I would not be here. We were in, I don't know what you call it now, Albany State the buildings have changed. It was the ACAD when I was here. It was one of the new buildings, and it was one of my first psych classes, and it was a big psychology book. And an angel whispered, lean back, and I kind of did this, and the book whizzed by my face. And then he put me out of class. Now, generations are different. Y'all different. Y'all would probably take offense to that. I took it for exactly what it was. He knew I hadn't done the work, and you can't cut corners in Dr. Reed's class. I had to get the gab, and I am just one of those people who, if I sort of know what you're talking about, you give me good 90 seconds to talk, I may stumble upon the right answer. And a lot of professors during that time may not have known that I really wasn't able to go very deep into the content and fully answer the question on a deeper level. I can give you an answer that surface level is right, but Dr. Reed never wanted the surface. He always wanted you to go deeper. He wanted you to give him more examples. He wanted you to connect the dots, and I couldn't do that because I had not read the material. I got to class 2 minutes early, sort of skimmed through the pages, and that was all I had done. So that day, me not having read, and then he put me out of class. And he told me, don't come back until I was serious. And I mean, I was kind of standing up, this man, he put me out of class. Okay then, guess I'm finna go read. And I never showed up to his classes ever again, not prepared to read. And I promise you, the few times that I had not fully read everything, I was in his classroom 30, 45 minutes early reading. I didn't believe in that 15-minute rule where if he wasn't in class on time, you get to walk out. You don't do that with Dr. Reed. He Dr. Ford for a reason. But it changed my life, and it wasn't malicious. He knew that I had the ability to be somebody great, and I was squandering it. And that is not why my ancestors suffered. Because we love to talk about our ancestors and what, they went through in this country. And what, Dr. King and Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali, we love to talk about what they went through. But we don't talk about the opportunities that we squander. And Dr. Reed talked about that. And he was right. I was squandering away an opportunity because I made a decision to be lazy, because that's all life is. One of the questions that I was given that I remember reading over the presentation was, is there anything that I would change? And I don't really live my life that way, because life is about choices. There are choices you make and there are choices you don't make. Choices you make that don't turn out the way that you want them, you learn something, and it's an opportunity for you to grow. And that's what you should view your life as. Decisions you make that don't give you the end result that you desire, then you should look for an opportunity to grow in that moment, to grow and mature. Your only competition is you. You on Tuesday should just want to be better than who you were on Monday. You tomorrow should only want to be better than who you were on Tuesday. That's how I view my life. When it comes down to work-life balance, because I do at times travel a lot, and I'm going into a very busy season because I literally canceled the fourth quarter of my traveling. I went back and told people no, and I sent their deposits and things back because for me, I needed to be home with my family during that time. The balance, I wish I could tell you that I figured it out. And again, it's about decisions you make and decisions you don't make. And that's what you have to be able to live with. For those of you who have children, you got to decide the moments with your children that you will be able to live with not being there for, and those that you just cannot miss. And it goes the same thing with any of your family members. If you have family members that are elderly or ill or whatever, you just like to see them. There are decisions you make and there are decisions that you don't make. That's how you have to just view your life and live your life. But the opportunities are there. And I have to say to you that this was an opportunity before I knew the full details I said yes to, because this was on my bucket list, and I said this to nobody but God, that I wanted to speak at Albany State this year. I said I wanted to speak, and he heard me because I've done TEDx, you've heard. I've spoken to audiences in India multiple times. I've spoken to audiences in Australia, the United Kingdom. This was the one that made me nervous and I was excited about, because for me, this was coming home. So I say to all of you, I thank you so much for your time, for obliging me of this, because this is what I have been waiting and living for. Now, Dr. Freeman, convocation or graduation, I'm just saying at some point, maybe. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our panelists. We sincerely appreciate you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules to provide us with such valuable key information. Can we clap for our panelists, please? And now we're going to open up the floor for any questions for our panelists.
I would say for me, just the entire college experience. Attending an HBCU is unlike any other college experience that you will have. So my husband attended a traditional university, and the energy of it is completely different. Because at Albany State University, every professor here was invested in my graduation. They are about matriculation. They want you to graduate. You're not just a student ID number. You're not just another account. You are a person. They want to connect with you. I know when I was at Albany State, if I missed class, Dr. Ashley was going to ask me, why weren't you in class on Monday? Dr. Reed was definitely going to ask me. Dr. Geyser was coming to knock on your door. You know, the professors missed you being in class. And so that experience, that impacted me because, as I said earlier, going to a high school that was predominantly white, I didn't have that experience. My teachers did care about me and they did want me to succeed, but they weren't invested in me the way my professors at the illustrious, the undeniable, the often imitated but never duplicated, unsinkable ASU.
I'll answer the question kind of the same. Albany State University gave me a chance to find my voice, and I can honestly say, sitting here today at 28 years old, my potential has been realized in more ways than one. I teach seniors, I know I said that earlier, and every time we get ready to have a senior week or it's time to get ready for graduation or start the college application process, two of my coworkers are here with me today. They know in the building that Ms. Jones is going to have on a shirt and talk about the unsinkable Albany State University. And when the students get here, they get that same home feel, they get that same experience, that same upliftment. So for me, I wouldn't choose any other university because Albany State poured into me in a way in which I had never experienced in life before.
I would definitely have to agree with the other panelists as well. Coming to ASU, I was very unsure about what it is that I wanted to do. I often tell people like how my story was, I wasn't even supposed to be here. I was supposed to be at another school. So it's like things happen in life that doesn't go to plan, so you end up places for a reason. So I definitely feel like I came to ASU for a reason. I made the right decision. So anything that I have done or haven't done, it doesn't really matter. Everything that has transpired has affected me in positive ways. So having professors around you who want you to succeed, like Dr. Lufieri, he calls me, blows up my phone. Taron, where are you? Dr. Dankwood, emailing, chopping me off when I miss class. It's just like, it's people around you who genuinely want you to succeed. And I come from a small town like Ms. Lawson where I often felt limited at what I could do. And coming to ASU, it just felt like the opportunities were limitless, and I just will forever be indebted. So, you know.
And I'm going to tell you, that makes a difference. All of my classmates that came to Albany State University, we all graduated on time. Those who went to traditional universities graduated a year or two later. It makes a difference when you have people who are invested in you, who want you to succeed personally. It makes a huge difference.
All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. So to all panelists, and I'm going to represent for Taron. The first question that I have is, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you were a student? And to Taron, what do you know now that you wish you were freshman year?
Good question. What do I know now? I would definitely tell myself, instead of saying, why me, start saying, why not me? So, like I said, things happen for a reason. Like, I'm here for a reason. We're all here for a reason. So, I definitely feel as if I was limiting myself because that imposter syndrome really takes over. And coming, like I said before, coming from a small town where I feel like I was being limited, I was kind of scared of my potential. But now I can reflect 4 years later, like, potential has been realized. Like I said, I will forever be indebted to ASU. I'm very thankful for every opportunity that I have had. Yeah, it's just knowing who you are.
For me, if I were to go back to the freshman moving into Hall 5, fall of 2011, I would say to myself, you're going to be amazed at the young woman that you become. Other people see it, but you have to see it in yourself. There were some very amazing people at Albany State that pushed me, not only as a student, but also as an involved student leader. And I know for a fact they did it for a reason because they saw things in me that I hadn't yet seen in myself. And I can honestly say Dr. Gwinnetta Trice and Dr. Stephanie Harris-Jolly, they poured into us the belief that you can do it, but you're going to do it with class, and you're going to hold yourself accountable for the individual that you're going to become. So if I look back at that young lady that applied to be a P3 at the end of her freshman year, I would say to her, this is all a part of the plan. You're going to be amazed at what's to come.
So I'm going to just give you the real answer. This is the one thing that I regret about being at Albany State. When I got out of line, when I registered for my classes, and I got out of the line, and as you walked past, there was a table, and they were stopping everybody, signing them up for credit cards. I should have kept walking. That is my regret. And there's a reason why it is now illegal to sign people up for credit cards that are under the age of 21. But that was literally how it was set up, right there by the mailboxes. If you were at Albany State back in the late 90s, early 2000s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They had the table set up just like this, and as you got out of the line with your registration, they were signing everybody up right there for a credit card, no credit check, just show your student ID and have your social security number. I should have kept walking. That's what I would do over. I would have kept walking.
Do you have any advice for me as a sophomore coming in and trying to get into things? And for you guys, how easy was it to actually start to join organizations on campus and be involved?
Okay, so as far as you feeling limited, college is a place where you learn to get out of your comfort zone. So first, I would say find your niche. Find what it is that you like to do. ASU has so many opportunities out there, so many clubs and organizations. It's literally something for everyone, very inclusive. So just find your niche and find what exactly it is that you like, and just get out of your comfort zone. That's probably one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. Probably 3 years ago, I would not be in this room. I would not even be able to get up here and speak, y'all. I used to be scared to go to the cab. So it's just like, you just have to get out of your comfort zone and really like find what it is that you like to do.
I would say being a part of the student leadership here at Alumni State is a one-of-a-kind experience. You work with a diverse group of people. You have your quiet people, you have your students that are very talkative, very out front, but whatever organization that you desire to join or be a part of on the campus, I feel as though it's very welcoming. You make lifelong friends. Like I have some lifelong friends that are now professors and working at the university that are sitting in the back, and we were all members of P3 and just going on those retreats, working on those student leadership qualities have transformed us into the adults that we are today. So I would definitely say find what organization fits you best, and then work in that organization, figure out whether you want to be one of the people on the promotion side of things, whether you want to be a secretary, but just find that organization and make the organization work for you and you work for it as well.
So you may or may not believe this. I am truly an introvert at heart. I have extrovert tendencies because I have to. So when I was initially at Albany State University, I wasn't in anything. I literally went to class and then I went back home because I was a commuter my first year. I commuted. So it was almost sort of like kind of the experience you had coming in under COVID, because I did not attend I didn't even do, I think it was like 2 weeks they did where they had all the freshmen to stay on campus to meet everybody. I didn't even do that. I was like, because I don't really like small talk and mingling with people. That just wasn't my thing back then. And so I would say that, one, understand that if it's not who you are, that's truly okay. It's okay to not run in a large crowd. It's not for everyone, and it doesn't mean that you're going to miss out on the college experience, because, you know, we're given that notion that to have the true college experience, you know, you have to go to all these parties and you need to have all of these friends and have 100 besties and y'all gonna braid each other hair every night, and then, you know, you're gonna come back together all the time for homecoming. It doesn't have to be that experience. All you really need is a solid circle that you can really count on and depend on. So just first determine, do you really want to be super social, or do you think that you need to be? Then figure out, like everyone else said, what you're comfortable with. So I ended up first joining the psychology club because that made sense to me because I was a psych major. And so I'm thinking like-minded people. And in that, I did meet a couple of other people who were like me. They were social when they sort of wanted to be, but they were also quite reserved. And so I enjoyed that. And then I, with Antonio Leroy, started volunteering with CAM, and that was nice because I got to be a part of CAM when I wanted to be, and when I didn't want to be with CAM, I wasn't with CAM. But I had about 4 friends that I was solidly with. We would study together, hang out, and go to the games and things like that. But I don't have like this group of 100 that we are getting back together at homecoming, and I have no regrets about my college experience. So be okay if you're not super social, and find your comfort zone and do things at your own comfort level. Because if you decide your senior year that you want to be mad, you know, social, that's your thing. You can still do that, because as a senior, then, you know, people have really seen you, and you still are able to get out there and do that. But do it at your own pace.
Greetings, everybody. I am Taron Davis. So my question is for Taron. Being that you're a political science major, what are some of the legal issues that you would change if you had the power to do so?
Well, first I'll start with public policy issues. So for my Congressional Black Caucus essay, I had to write about what public policy issue would I change if I were a congressman. So educational gaps are a big problem in America. According to statistics, I think it's like 40% of African Americans have bachelor degrees compared to like a 60-70% of Caucasian Americans. So that's a big problem. That's something that I would change too by also getting involved with HBCUs, making sure that the students are fostering resiliency, and also get involved with high schools as well. I really want to go back to my home and start a nonprofit org for people who want to go to college but don't have the resources to do so. So mainly I would change the educational reform. I would love to do that.
I'm Adrienne. This question is for Ms. Lawson. How has the social science field changed in the past 5 years, and what do you predict will happen in the next 5 to 10 years?
How has it changed? I will say that the thing that I've seen change the most, and I can't even really say that it's been 5 years, I would say is testing has been what I have seen become the biggest change, is how they have now opened up testing to just be done by people who are not psychiatrists. That has been quite disturbing for me. You see an overdiagnosis now of ADHD and ADD. You see an overdiagnosis of anxiety disorders and things now, and that is because the diagnoses are able to be done by just a regular medical professional, and it has its good and it has its bad that comes with that, but you see such an overdiagnosis of it. As a teacher, I would see students who would come in with all types of diagnoses, and I'm thinking, you haven't been seeing this doctor, 7 or 8 years to have a bipolar diagnosis. Who did your testing to give you this schizophrenic diagnosis? Like, what is going on here with the medication? Are you in counseling? All of these things. Because now so many people are now able to prescribe the medication, so many people are now able to give the diagnosis. You don't see enough people who are actually getting the full medical attention they need. Medication is just one portion of it. Medication is just a small percentage of medical treatment that you really need in this particular, in the counseling field, I should say, under social science. And that, to me, has become very disappointing, because these diagnoses and things follow people, and you don't necessarily know that, because now we're in a digital age. My dentist can prescribe medication to me, and when I go see my primary care physician now sees the medication that my dentist prescribed to me. So people are not necessarily cognizant of that. And so all of these things connect in good, and there's bad with that. It's good now that psychologists are able to do additional courses and get additional licensing and do things like that. But again, medication is just one small factor of it. I would say in the next 5 years, what am I predicting? That things are going to continue to change. What I do really like and what I see progressing more and more is the ability to access therapy. COVID really gave us access to therapy outside of just going into a counselor's office and having to sit face to face with someone. You are now able to text with a counselor. You can do, telemed visits. So pre-COVID, I was doing telemed visits, but I only knew of like 2 clinics that actually did that pre-COVID. Now everybody offers that, and I love that. And I'm interested to see in the next 5 years how that continues to develop to give people access to things. I believe it is the rapper Killer Mike that is now working with some investors on creating an insurance plan that is very economically sound for everyday people, because that's the main thing with getting people access to medical treatment, particularly mental health, because that's the really big thing when you're talking about African Americans and you look at our numbers of how many of us are incarcerated. A lot of it is mental health. A lot of it is mental health, and a lot of it is not having access to lawyers, a public defender, and the lack of actual mental health treatment. So in the next 5 years, I'm really hoping to see more access to these things. People like Taron getting into the field, and making these public policy changes. I'm hoping that we get more qualified people who are out there to give the African American community that representation and that access that we so rightfully deserve.
And can we have another round of applause for our...
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Petway. That's why I have everybody just affectionately call me Dr. P. I am serving currently as the Interim Director for Career Services, and I've been asked to give acknowledgments and remarks. So I'm going to just give you all a notes recap of the panelists. For Mr. Henton, he talked about preparation. Complete, never compete. He talked about stepping into your purpose, and then he said not only will he prepare the table, he will set the table and then serve the table. Then Miss Alexis Jones talked about grace. She talked about giving back to students and reaching your potential. She talked about preparation, not only in the class, but learning transferable skills, which are life skills that helped her as well. There's no limit. There's no time like the present. Set the tone, control your environment. Life is what you make it. Extend yourself some grace. Then we heard from Miss Kimberly Lawson, who talked about love, her love for Albany State University, blue and gold, how she's changed her life and other people's lives. She talked about Dr. Agazi. I had Dr. Agazi as well. How she cared, how she uses her knowledge on a daily basis. She talked about the holistic perspective, DFACS. I worked for DFACS for 10 years. And then decide what you want to do and then go deeper. So today, I'm going to charge you all. First of all, I want to give a background of who I am. My parents attended Albany State University and graduated in 1973. I attended Albany State University and graduated in 1997. My husband also attended, came in 91, had a little too much fun, but didn't graduate until 2017, but he graduated from the Albany State University. I met my husband here, and now we have a daughter here at Albany State University. With God willing, she'll graduate in December of 2022. I want to let you all know that you all are standing on our shoulders. That's number one. So I dare not let you fall. Here at Albany State University, I have resources available. We have resources available to you in career services to help you leap into your career. And so as you begin to leap, we offer career counseling. We offer career assessments. We offer interviewing techniques, mock interviewing, resume writing and critiques, internship opportunities, employment opportunities, and a host of other things. We've recently partnered with Handshake for our new career services resource platform. We have the information outside on the table. I would ask that every student here go ahead and scan that QR code. This is going to help you align with internship and employment opportunities in your field. Okay? On this Thursday, we will have a Rams in the Bush event. Now, we did open it up for seniors only, but now we have extended the invitation to all majors and to all students. So if you are not busy on this Thursday evening from 6:30 until 9:30, I would ask that you join me join Career Services for the Rams in the Bush event. This event is going to be an opportunity for our students to network with alumni, get to know them. Get to know them because these are the shoulders that you are standing on. It's going to be a great opportunity. We're going to have a panel full of entrepreneurs that can talk to you about their journey into entrepreneurship. So if you have any questions, meet me after this event, and then I can discuss with you a little bit further. Thank you all for inviting me. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all around campus.
Okay, everyone, I want, first of all, for everyone to just give themselves a round of applause for sticking with us, listening to the panelists. And so, again, thank you all. That actually concludes our event for today. We do still maybe have some lunches in the back if you weren't able to grab that before. And so I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.